Hi subbies, how you all doing? Just a quick update video. It's been a while, and the last video went up a week ago, but they were filmed in blocks, and I have not filmed in a long time. But yes, I had surgery on the 30th of April, March, shall I say, and it went really well. I just want to do an update video. Um, I got there for 7, was in there for 7. I went in, got admitted, got a bed. The staff was absolutely phenomenal. Like all of them, every single person, like how big or small their job is, were amazing. Had my height, weight, and blood pressure. Had a COVID test, and heart rate, just all the normal checks before I got a gown and stuff. They then gowned me up, and I did not film. I did not film, and I thought I would film, but I cannot believe how anxious I was. I was incredibly anxious. I did not sit still. I just sat there absolutely scared. I literally said goodbye to my grandparents at my grandma at the ward door because it was an ultra green ward I was on, which meant you had to be fully COVID clear. Obviously, we were all COVID clear, so I went on and I was COVID clear. You didn't have to wear a mask. I wore it for about an hour and then I took it off because I felt a bit awkward. But in the end, it was an ultra green ward, so there was no COVID allowed. Yeah, like you had to have 2 tests and stuff. But yeah, I had to say bye to grandma, so I gave her a hug, and it literally set in then because I was on my own, and I was there for nearly 12 hours. No, I was there for 12 hours, there from 7 till 7. But yeah, I got admitted, did all the obs, and then um, I got my wristbands. I went through all the paper with the nurse, and then the anaesthesiologist came and he told me I was first in the queue. Well, first in the line, basically first on the schedule. And I was like, oh, I do want to know that. But yeah, he told me that, and then what time is it? I have to have a job in 10 minutes or 50, it's only quarter. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But yeah, he came and saw me. He said I was first in the queue. I then said to him I would like a pre med, because my anxiety is like really high. It was like terrible. I was texting my colleagues, absolutely fretting. I was wanting to pull out because I was on my own, and this ward was very quiet. But in the room I was in, there was 8 beds, no, 7 beds, because there was one minus because it was near the window, and there was already 3 ladies in. And when I came back from the theatre, they were all gone. It was just it was an empty ward, just for no, there were 2 ladies in front of me, if that makes sense. But I didn't film. I was incredibly anxious. I could not sit still. I was fretting to just not want to do it. But then the anaesthesiologist came. He said he'd give me a pre med in the anaesthesiologist room. And I was like, oh, great, great. And then once I saw him, the surgeon came around and he saw me, and his assistant saw me, went through all the stuff, and then I said, "You're first in the queue, so we'll see you soon." And I got told I should be getting seen by 9 o'clock, and it was about 9:30 to 10ish. Um, but yeah, I'm not annoyed that I didn't film. If I filmed, it would just be nothing. Like I took pictures once I'd calmed down, and but not filming. But yes, I got then the anaesthesiologist assistants came, the people that take it down to the actual room came, and I was all gowned up and everything. I was stripped. All I was wearing was knickers and socks, and I was stripped. So I had just the gown on, and I went in the poo dressing gown on. I went down to the anaesthesiologist's room, um, and I'm just going through it with my head. I remember every single aspect because they didn't give me a pre med. They gave me the pre med in the room. So I went into I got wheeled to the room, and then I got told go in bed, in the actual the anaesthetic room. So I got in the bed, and then they put all the leads on me. They put blood pressure cuff, heart monitor, pull oximeter. They put everything on me, and then they put the oxygen mask on, which was linked to the sleepy gas. So he put that on me and said, "Don't worry, it's just oxygen." And my heart rate was, I had the monitor to my left of me, and I told them my heart rate's high because I had natural regurgitation, and also because I was terrified. I was absolutely bricking it so bad. But once I got in the room, I was like, "No, you're getting on with it. You've signed off that you're gonna do it. You're getting on with it." They put plates underneath me, and then it was cannula time. They didn't give me a any numbing cream, and I did it in my right hand, and they couldn't find a vein at first because my hands were blue because of the rain ads. I was freezing. The lady, she was absolutely amazing. She warmed my hand up because her hands were warm, mine were freezing. She warmed my hand up. She then came to the left side of my bed and said, "Just squeeze my hand as much as you want. They're gonna put the cannula in now." And they said they'd tell me when they were gonna put it in. I was like, "Don't tell me you're gonna put it in," but they told me, and it did hurt. It hurt a lot. It really did. But they had to like squeeze my wrist and slap my hand, and I had to like open and shut my hand like I had a ball in my hand, like just pump my hand. And once they'd actually got the cannula in and it was all done, it stung so bad. But once I got the cannula in, they actually stopped squeezing my hand because they needed like a tourniquet. They had to squeeze my wrist so that a vein would come up. My hand was numb. It went all tingly. It was awful. But then, it was in. I was hooked up to fluids because I hadn't drunk that I had drunk the morning of the operation, but I had last had a drink at 5:30, and it was like a sip. It wasn't a full on cup. I was terrified of drinking. I was terrified of eating the night before, so I stopped eating at 6:30. So they gave me a bag of fluids, and I knew instantly the minute I woke up I'd been eating the toilet, which did happen. But yeah, they gave me the cannula, and then what time is it? 6 minutes. Yeah, it's 10 to now. I'm gonna have to probably pause this and do my jabbing and thingy. But yeah, they did put the cannula in. Then they gave me some. Gave me. It was like it hooked me to the fluid. Told me everything was happening. Hooked me to the fluids. The needle was no longer in my hand. It was literally just the tube. There was no needle, just a tube into the vein, which was I put it onto Instagram, but just hate needles. And then I'm sorry for shouting. I've been buzzing to do this video, but it's taken me a while because I've just been trying to get a thing with this ankle. But yeah, they then gave me anti-nausea meds, pain meds, and then she was like, "Are you feeling sleepy yet?" And I wasn't. I was feeling like tiny, like minuscule bit sleepiness, and it wasn't at all there really. So then he said, "Okay, I'm going to give you the actual medication now, as in the milky stuff. I don't know what to call it, the actual stuff that puts you to sleep, because I didn't do it by laughing gas. They didn't do it by a sleepy gas. They had the oxygen on me, and my oxygen levels were 100%. I could see all the vitals on the screen, and then they gave me the sleep medication. And it didn't hit me at first, but then out of nowhere, it felt like I'd been hit by a truck, and my head was extremely heavy. My body, I could not stop stretching. I instantly shut my eyes. I'm just like, I was still with it. I could still hear them because I was trying to relax, but I couldn't. So I felt absolutely disgusting, and I felt it go up my eye. I was like, oh no. And then she kept telling me if I was awake, if can you open my eyes, and I did. I kept fighting it. So like I shut my eyes, but I was shut my eyes so that I'd try and relax myself, but I know I wasn't relaxing myself. So then she kept telling me, open your eyes, so I did. And then obviously it just took me out. But I did like fight the actual stuff for about 2-3 minutes because I kept stretching and yawning, and I was chapping, like I was doing that, trying to get saliva in my mouth, and I was breathing really hard. But this oxygen mask, because it's one of these, not the normal ones, it's one they use in general anesthetic. It's like it's fully vacuums your mouth, so when you try to breathe out, it's forcing air into your lungs, so I couldn't breathe out. And anyway, I went off and I woke back up in recovery, and I had an oxygen mask on. I had all the leads on me, but one of the side effects of the anaesthetic on me was I was shivering. I was violently shivering, like I was like I was freezing cold. I wasn't freezing cold. But yeah, it was over. I was out, and I was like, the first thing I said was, "Is it over now?" And she said, "Yeah." And my foot was up under the blankets. But yeah, I woke up, had the surgery done. I was freezing cold. I wasn't freezing cold. This is a problem. I was violently shivering. But that's just because of the anaesthetic. So they put dozens of blankets on me. They still had me on obs, and they put this tube that blew hot air into the under the blankets, and it calmed me down a bit, but I was still shivering violently when I went back to the ward. Anyway, I went back through, and they did half an hour obs on me for about 2 hours, and then I had hourly obs, and my blood pressure was low, but that's due to anaesthetic. And I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to drink. Because I had morphine, I could taste it. I could taste it for like 2 days afterwards, and I could taste it at the right back of my throat, and it was disgusting. But yeah, I could taste it. And the last time I had morphine, the first time I had it, was when I had oral surgery, dental surgery, and I ended up. They gave me so much that I couldn't. I was like that drowsy. They I struggled to stay awake, and I ended up puking up a load of from the morphine. It was awful. So then this time I was scared of that happening. I hate puking. I have like, not phobia, but I just hate puking. So I was terrified of puking. So when she came round the room that morning, did the, like, I call her like a din lady or like a food lady. She came round the room that morning when I first got admitted. The minute I was admitted, doing some breakfast, love, and I was like, no, I'm on nil by mouth. And then she came, the minute I woke up, she was there, and she was like, no cup of tea, done some sandwiches. And I was like, no, and I just kept saying, no, 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 it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But the physio ended up coming, and I'm gonna have to pause in a minute because I need to set my jab up. But I'll tell you why about the jabs afterwards. The physio ended up coming and saying, okay, I'll give you crutches. I'm gonna pause now because otherwise it'll end up being too late and I need to prep first. So give me a second. Right, I've set up down here, but I'll explain that afterwards. But yeah, the lady came around asking me if I wanted food, if I wanted a cup of tea, if I wanted coffee, if I wanted water, if I wanted ham sandwich, and the physio had come round just after she, because I said no because I did not want to eat, or I said yeah, I'll have some water, but I was doing like baby sips. I was terrified of throwing up because I could taste it in my head. Oh my god, my head was as heavy as a brick. I could, like, when I lifted it, I was like, I felt like I would been in a roller coaster a million times. My head was just spinning. That's from the general anaesthetic. But I couldn't feel my foot either. So when I woke up, I was like, I can't feel my foot. I could wiggle my toes, but I couldn't feel it because he had told me that he was going to give me local anaesthetic whilst I was under, and it was that strong. It lasted the whole, from when I came out theatre, which was 11ish, half 11 till half 11, till the next morning. It proper knocked my foot out. My foot was like not there. I could wiggle it. They said they've got good. They said, can you wiggle your foot? And I could. And they said, well, you've got good circulation because when they press on my foot, the blood comes back, if that makes sense. I couldn't feel it, and it was amazing. Could not feel my foot for the first day until I woke up the next morning, and then I could feel it, and it hurt a lot. A lot it hurt. I couldn't believe how bad it hurt. Anyway, I didn't want to eat anything or drink anything, but then physio came and said, well, the physio came with crutches. They came, I have a pair of crutches. They came and they got me on crutches once I'd woken up a bit more, and they got me to walk down the corridor, walk back, walk up and down the stairs, which I was fine with doing. I aced it the first time she asked me to do it, which I was quite shocked at. And then when the woman came back asking about food, I said, can I have a ham sandwich? And it was I don't know what time that was, but they gave me a sandwich and I sat there. I literally left it there. I ate nibbles, like the tiniest baby nibbles, because every time I'd swallowed it, my stomach felt weird. I was starving, don't get me wrong, but I was terrified. I was absolutely bricking of being thrown up. Even the first thing he asked the nurse was, could I please have a sick bucket just in case? And she immediately got me one. But I didn't throw up and I was fine. But yeah, so I had physio, then the food lad came, gave me the sandwiches, gave me water, and yeah, that was it. That was just hourly obs, and I was going at once. Right, I'm gonna have to pause now because it's 57 and I need to get my breath before I take my jab. Well, 1 minute. So when I first woke up from theatre, I had a full bladder because I was hooked up to a full bag of fluid because I hadn't drunk since 5:30, and even then I said to him it was sips of water. It was like a mouthful of water each time, it was like 2 mouthfuls of water. So they gave me a full bag of fluids, and whilst the cannula was in my hand, I deliberately didn't go to the toilet whilst the cannula was in my hand, but once the bag had finished, I looked down, not realising the bag had finished, and the blood was circling back into the tube, going up back to the bag, and I called the nurse over and said, there's blood coming out. She goes, okay, she sorted it out, but she told me. I said, why did it happen? She goes, because once the bag of fluid's finished, it creates a vacuum, and it has sucked the blood out. I didn't feel ill or anything, but I felt ill looking at it. But yeah, once the bag of fluid had finished, I left it ages. I felt like an idiot saying I need the toilet, and I did. I ended up going to the toilet, but it was on a commode in the ward because I couldn't move. I was just walking up. It was about an hour after walking. I was like, I need the toilet, I can't wait, and I couldn't go. But anyway, I've just taken my jab. As I was saying, I forgot to mention something. But yeah, where was I? Physio. Yeah, I had the sandwich and I was nibbling it. It was a ham sandwich, but it was split up into like triangles, and I left it that long. I had nibbles, and it took me a long, long, long time. I didn't even manage to eat the whole sandwich. It was there from when I woke up till 7 o'clock when I got discharged. I was supposed to stay there for 2 nights, but I'll explain why in a minute. But I got discharged early. But yeah, it was there, basically just sat there talking to the patients on the ward, had hourly obs, and my blood pressure would not come above 106. I did get discharged, but it wasn't alarming, but it's just that I got told to drink plenty. It was just because of the anaesthetic, but my blood pressure, why are you buzzing now? My blood pressure was low, and yeah. Anyway, got discharged at 7. I went in the commode, and because I could not get to the toilet, I still had a paralysed bladder. So even though it was full and screaming at me to go like I never needed to go before, I couldn't go. And the woman brought the commode in, helped me on the toilet, and then she shut my curtains and left me to go to the toilet. I couldn't go. She came back in and said I can't go. She goes, okay, I turned the tap on for you. So I literally had to I forced my bladder. I pushed like where my bladder is, and I pushed, and it eventually came out, and it was a huge wee. I sat there for ages. Anyway, I got back in the bed. I felt much better. But yeah, I got discharged for the rest of the afternoon. I literally just sat doing word searches and on my phone and just talking to the patients and chatted and stuff. And then I got told I was going to be discharged that day because of how well surgery went. The surgeon was happy with it, and it closed up really well, and he was really happy. So instead of having to stay there 2 nights, he discharged me the same day. So I got discharged at 7, and I got picked up, and I came home. And yeah, where did I jab myself? Where have I just jabbed myself? Because it's flipping painful. I've lost. Oh, there it is. Anyway, when I saw the surgeon's assistant, she went through the risks of the surgery. Like, everything. All the risks were tick, because of the surgery. Anyway, one of them was blood clots, and she said, are you on the medication? And I said, I'm only on contraception. I told her which one, she said, yeah, we'll find out which one it is. But because you're at risk anyway of blood clots because of your surgery, but because I take contraception, and it's one which can cause blood clots, but I would be at risk without the medication because the blood clots, because I've been sat for 2 weeks with my foot elevated above my hip, and in the night time has to be elevated above my heart for 2 weeks, and today's the last day. Yes! So I've not been able to go out except to the hospital to my grandparents, and whilst it's my grandparents, my foot's up, I'm not moving. I've not been shopping for 2 weeks, and it's been awful, but today's last day. Yippee! Anyway, because of 2 weeks high elevation, that's a risk in itself because I'm not moving, and there's a risk of blood clots. But because of my contraception, I have I had to be put on blood thinner injections. That is why there's a sharp spin over there, and there's a sharp spin here. I've been put on 4 weeks of blood thinner injections. I'm not going to show the injections because I'll end up getting the video deleted and stuff, but they're like that big, and the vial is to me, it's a big vial of stuff to put into me. I had to learn on the day to jab myself in the stomach for the next 4 weeks. And when I got told 4 weeks, I was like, I hate injections, I hate jabs, I hate having to go for blood tests, I hate anything to do with needles, and now you're telling me I need to inject myself for the next 4 weeks every day at the same time as my pill. Because she says you need to do it at the same time every day. So I said, okay, I'll do it at the same time to my contraception pill, which beats the objective of the pill, but the pill's hormonal anyway. But yeah, I have to inject myself with a lovely syringe of blood thinners every day at 5 o'clock. So I've got 2 weeks left now. I've just finished a box of 2 weeks, and I've got another 2 weeks to go. But yeah, I'm on blood thinner injections, and I can tell you now, it hurts, and I don't like it. I've not got used to it. I haven't, but I have, if that makes sense. Like, at first I was like really, really not wanting to do it, and I still don't want to do it. Like, I hate it every day 5 o'clock comes. I hate it because I'm sat here and I'm like, just do it. But you have to put the needle all the way in, and the first time I did it wrong. I put it in a tiny bit and then I put the liquid in, and I had a massive bruise, and the next one I did wrong and I had a massive bruise. The bruise is still there from day 2, and it's now day 14. But I got told you have to insert it all the way in, and I've got to the point, you've got told you have to like jab it in like really quick, but I've got to the point now that I can't. I have to literally force myself to jab it in like that quick, but I can't. But anyway, I'm on day 14. I've just done day 14, and I have not had any side effects except bruising. And the first week it was like headiness and just faintness and stuff, but yes, I got put on blood thinners. And then I've got physio in 4 weeks. Was something else I was going to say about? I can't remember. But yeah, physio for 4 weeks. So that's going to be in the next 2 weeks. And tomorrow I'm at hospital getting a pot change into a boot. Here is my foot. I have a cast on underneath. I've been in joggers for 2 weeks. Don't worry, not the exact same joggers. I've changed my joggers. Don't worry about that. And I had to buy myself a waterproof sock that the hospital recommended. It's called a Limbo, and it is literally a plastic sock, but the seal is rubber and it doesn't let any water in. But yes, look, I could do ASMR on this. It goes from here all the way to there. It's a nice lovely pot. But unfortunately I've slipped on my crutches about 3 to 4 times now, and each time I've lost balance or slipped, like I've slipped in the bathroom, I've fully stretched my foot out. Yes, my hair's up because I've done washing. Well, my mum's done washing. Mum's had to do everything for me because I can't. When I'm on crutches, I can't put my foot down for another 2 weeks now, and it's not had weight on it for 2 weeks. Unless I've slipped. I've slipped twice on my crutches, and I lost balance, should I say, and I've ended up having my mind just automatically go and put your foot down, and I have. And it's caused the worst pain, and I'm just dreading tomorrow and take the cast off that it might have opened the stitches. I hope it hasn't, but if it has, I'm just going to have to go along with it. But yes, cast change tomorrow to a boot, to a natural openable boot. It's not coming to cast anymore, which I'm quite chuffed about, because it does get itchy inside, and it's annoying because for the first week it did swell, and now it's the last day of high foot elevation. I'm so happy I'm free tomorrow. I'm going to go to the shop and buy some stuff, and I can go out. I'm so happy. But still, not putting weight in the foot. And I've got a sick note for 3 weeks, which I need to get another sick note for, because I've still got 2 weeks of non-weight bearing, and I won't be able to go back to work after weight bearing anyway, physio, because it ain't straight away put weight on it. As in, I'm not going to automatically be walking on it. But yes, that is just an update from me. I've had surgery after it being cancelled twice. First time it was COVID, they cancelled it in April when COVID happened. Second time they cancelled it because there's an urgent person come through, an urgent case. But this time I got bumped to the top of the list, and that's why I was at the top of the list when I got into hospital. But yes, thank you all for your lovely comments. It's been a while, and it'll probably be a while longer because I don't know what tomorrow brings. I'm hoping it's fine. It was absolutely perfect when they opened it. Last time when I had the cast change, I had a massive boot on. They said that the nurses in the theatre just wrap it too much, but they gave me a cast, and yeah, the first 2 days, no, first 2-3 days, or the first week was bad, as in pain. The first day, or I think it was the day 2 of being home, I was taking paracetamol every 4 hours on the door. I just couldn't, they gave me codeine, but they told me you get really severe constipation with it, and I hate constipation. I think everybody does. So I've not taken it. I've taken paracetamol instead, and it's now week 2, and the pain's not there. First week it was there all the time. It was pulsing, it was throbbing, it was burning, every single thing. But now there's no pain. There's only pain if I stretch my leg out stupidly, if I lose balance, or if my foot gets knocked, or anything like that, if you know what I mean. If my toes, because my toes now have no sensation on the floor, if my toes knock on something, it flexes my whole foot. My foot flexes in the cast, and it kills. But if I'm sat, it's fine. It's rubbing. And I'm going tomorrow, which I'm really happy about. But yes, guys, I want to give you an update, and I have another 2 weeks of jobs to go, which I'm still dreading, but I get on with it every day. And my stomach is literally dot to dot. You can do dot to dot my stomach from all the bruises and stuff, and yeah, and all the rashes I've had as well, which is awful because of the jab. It's not a rash, it's rash. But yes, guys, thanks so much. In allergic reaction, don't think about that's just where the medicine's gone in. But yes, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me. I shall be back soon. I will be going shopping, and it's Easter this weekend, so happy Easter, everybody. I hope you have a great Easter. I'll be at my grandparents' house, and they've been amazing as well. My mum's been amazing. Having, I can't get a drink of water because I'm on crutches. When I'm walking, I cannot carry anything. So she's having to bring me my breakfast, lunch, tea, water, just everything. I've been, depending on her, and I hate it. I've only got, like, don't know how much longer. I'm going for 2 weeks, definitely, because I know we're bearing. Please guys, thanks so much for watching. I love you all so much. Bye.